Check it out, Casperr!
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Casperr here, and welcome to a vlog. But don't worry, I'm not going to pull a nade shot on you guys. I've actually got, in this box, a brand new computer, which is obviously kind of relevant to gaming. It is a gaming computer. So I'm going to open it up, the box that is. And in fact, I'm going to open up the computer because I got some new components that need to go into it. So let's do that and take it from there. So here it is, out of its cardboard box. Pretty unremarkable to look at, but of course we're not going to be looking at it. We're going to be playing video games on it, so it really doesn't matter too much how it looks. It does have this pretty cool window on the side where you can see all the components, but if you know what you're looking at, you'll know that there's no graphics card in there right now. But that's because in my old computer I've got a GTX 970 and I've also got my SSD. So let's open up this, take the stuff out of there to put it in here. Welcome to the guts of my old computer. Here's the GTX 970 that we're going to pull out, and here's my SSD. This is toolless, so I should just be able to pull this out, and it should just be a case of pulling out the graphics card. I think it is screwed in, so I'll have to get out my screwdriver. Okay, so here's a look inside the new computer. So obviously you can't see the CPU, it's covered up by the heatsink there, but it is a Intel i7 4790K, so that is sort of like the last generation, the top end of the last generation essentially. That's 32 gigabytes of, I think, 2133 hertz RAM, VS550, not much to say about a power block. And as I said, we're going to put in our old GPU. Probably shouldn't have them on the carpet, probably should have them on top of plastic, and obviously the SSD. And I found, I realized I had a sound card in my old computer. Let's install this stuff. As you can see, there's no cables loose. Now I think, well actually I'm quite confident that these are the cables for the, well not that one, but actually yeah, maybe that one. Yeah, those are the cables to power the graphics card. So we need to find a way to get those from where they are over to where the graphics card, which is one of these. So I was struggling to actually get to the cables which were in here, and I ended up, as you can probably work out from the fact that you can see through, taking off the back of the case. So I pulled the cables out from here and pushed them through a hole here. And if you ever built your own computer, you've set up your own cable management, you've done it with the components that you need where you need them. If you are working on a slightly pre-built or completely pre-built computer, you've probably got really aggressive cable management. So this is what it will probably look like. Fortunately, the cables I need are loose, so I should be able to plug in my graphics card, and I'm pretty sure there's cables here for my hard drive. I'll catch up with you guys in a moment. So here we are, some indeterminate amount of time later. Graphics card is in, all the cables are in. Here's the HDD that came with it, and here is the SSD, which has got my Windows on it. Now, when you move Windows, which is already on a drive, this is Windows 8, onto a new computer, it probably won't like it. So when we actually plug this in and turn it on, we might have some Windows issues if we don't have any hardware issues. I actually ended up taking the backplate off this multiple times to try and fiddle all the cables. It's really fiddly. I don't envy anyone who builds computers for a living. And also I didn't plug in the sound card. The sound card would go into one of these two. This doesn't seem to have the cable. Now I could take the cable from my old one, but I don't know if you can see that, but the cable management is pretty horrific in terms of getting to anything. So if it looks like I need my sound card sometime, I will go back and do it. But for now, let's plug this in, just what we need, a monitor and power, and mouse and keyboard of course, and see if it actually works. Okay, so here's the moment of truth, and I've actually got some travel magazines holding the computer straight right now because this desk is extremely old and is on a slant. So, here's the on button. Okay. Interesting noises. Post beep. That single beep normally means computer's working fine. PC Specialist, obviously, as I said, that's the company I bought it from, so they put their own stuff on here. That ... thing reminds me a lot of Windows, so hopefully it is booting Windows. But as I said, I have put in an SSD which already had Windows on it, so it might get a little bit confused. It's keeping me in some major suspense right now. There is some lights. Oh, blue. Hi there. Okay, I'll go through this. Hopefully it goes somewhere good. Okay, so we are back on the floor. Not because anything's gone wrong. Now, that login screen that we saw was actually because that was booting to the hard drive that was already in here from the PC company on a test version of Windows. So I swapped the boot drive to my drive, and it worked perfectly. I could not believe it. It worked perfectly. But then I realized that I hadn't put in my second hard drive from my original computer, which basically has everything on it other than the operating system. So I'm trying to get that into the computer right now, plus my SSD with the operating system on it, plus the new hard drive, which is like a bigger hard drive, so I'm going to use that for storage. I need loads of these cables. This one, not that one. This one. Now there's enough in the computer, but because of the cable management, and some of them are quite short, you can see that doesn't go much farther than that. If I want to get the CD drive, which I'll need at some point, I'll need to put CDs in there to install stuff, 3 hard drives, or 2 hard drives and an SSD, then I'm going to need to do some jiggery-pokery. So hopefully you can see sort of what's going on here. There's 3 bays here for CD drives or whatever of the drives. Maybe you've got a floppy drive if you're living in the 1990s. But I need to basically move the CD drive where it is now down to, because I can't actually get the cable I need any higher than that. So we are back on the floor, but hopefully this is the home straight. Okay, so obviously the audio is a little bit better now. My microphone works, all my software works. The icons down the bottom of my screen here, half of those are on one drive, half of those are on another drive. They all just worked straight away. I didn't have to do anything, which is really weird because normally when you change a hard drive to a completely different computer, I mean, I've gone from an AMD 8150 to a Intel i7-4790, and it's worked straight away. Different motherboard, different CPU, it's worked. So I don't know why, but I'm not arguing with it. So just go over my stats really quickly, because I guess that's probably one of the main interests of watching a new computer build video. It's the Intel i7-4790K, which is the CPU. 32 gigabytes of, I think it's Corsair or whoever does HyperX RAM. That's at 2133 hertz, megahertz, gigahertz, whichever the hertz is. An nVidia GTX 970 graphics card, and then 3 drives, WD Black at 2 terabytes, WD Blue at 1 terabyte, and a Samsung Evo 840, I believe, at 256 gigabytes, which is the SSD, which just has the operating system on it and some key stuff like Team Fortress 2. I hope you found this interesting. Obviously, it's very different to the sort of thing I'd normally do. I might do more vlogs in the future. Let me know if you find them interesting. I will invest in a better camera than my crappy phone, so don't worry about that. If you do want to see more, they should be higher quality in the future. So, thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you for some gameplay soon.